World Championships and is too a man who could do extremely well. But that's my point of view. Nobody knows more about motorcycle racing than the man alongside me, 7 times world champion John Surtees. And as we look at, on the right, Kenny Roberts, number 4, and next to him, number 3, what do you think?
Well, Murray, it's one of those races where obviously the World Championship is the main contest. I think the weather is obviously worrying them as they sit there on the line. Talking to Kenny before the race, he said that he wasn't too concerned about making a quick start because he preferred, in fact, to sort of power through in the early stages, and this got him into the right groove. Talking to Freddie, well, Freddie's a little concerned about the type of power he has here. He has plenty of top-end power, but he's concerned that it doesn't really work out right on this circuit. He has to do about 6 or 7 more gear changes per lap than, for instance, the Yamaha, because of the inferior power characteristics. But on the other hand, he's a real trier, and the Honda is a very handleable machine.
28 laps, and the race is going to start in about 40 seconds time. Very soon the 30-second board will go up. Number 3, Freddie Spencer. Alongside him, number 6, Randy Mamela. Then 27, Eddie Lawson. And alongside Eddie Lawson on the front rank is number 10, Mark Fontaine with the Yamaha. But these are the 2 men to watch. World Championship leader, number 3, Freddie Spencer, Honda. His rival and friend, I emphasize that, number 4, Kenny Roberts. This race is absolutely vital to the World Championship chances of both of them. And it's go. The crowd literally roars, and Spencer blasts off. And Roberts is left a bit behind, and it's Ron Haslam and Freddie Spencer into Cops together with Randy Mamela behind them. And the crowd roars as they see that Ron Haslam is leading the British Grand Prix. Rocket Ron is away on lap 1. The man who has only just recovered from that arm injury. He's in a superb state of mind. There is Randy Mamela and the distinctive style of Ron Haslam. And now Freddie Spencer is right up with him and through. And Mamela is in 3rd position. The World Championship leader, Freddie Spencer, leads as they approach the fastest part of the course, Hangar Straight, which is the long drag, 160 miles an hour. They're into Stowe, and Kenny Roberts is up into 5th place. And it's Spencer leads, Mamela is 2nd, Haslam is in 3rd place, Roberts is up into 4th place, and Jack Middelberg, the Dutchman who won here in 1981, is right up there too. Then the rest of them go through. Number 5 there is ex-world champion Marco Lucinelli on the Honda, who seemingly is well out of the running in the British Grand Prix, didn't do at all well in practicing, and that is the wonderful shot from Club up to Abbey, from Abbey to Woodcote to complete the first of 28 laps, with Freddie Spencer going into the right-hander at 120 miles an hour and leading from Mamela. So there is Honda leading Suzuki. Now, Randy Mamela, number 6, won here in 1980. He's got a lot to do because although he's in 3rd place in the World Championship behind Kenny Roberts as he looks over his shoulder, and Roberts is 3rd, ahead of Haslam. Haslam down to 4th, Roberts up to 3rd. So the 3 Americans who lead the World Championship on lap 2 now are 1st, 2nd and 3rd. It's Honda leading, Freddie Spencer. It's Suzuki 2nd, Randy Mamela. It is Yamaha 3rd, Kenny Roberts. It's the 2nd Works Honda of Ron Haslam in 4th position. And that is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of as we watch Kenny Roberts trying to catch Randy Mamela, and he is catching Randy Mamela, and therefore catching this man, number 3, Freddie Spencer, 21 years old, one of the youngest riders in the race. There's Haslam, there's Middelberg, and in 6th position is Lawson, and Barry Sheen is in about 12th position, and that's good. Number 14 there, Loris Reggiani. And the first 3 are breaking away. Haslam is still 4th. Roberts in 3rd position is now right with Spencer, and Mamela leads. Randy Mamela, has he been sandbagging in practice, is in the lead as they come out to complete lap 2 in this 28-lap race, and into 2nd place goes Kenny Roberts. Kenny Roberts has displaced Freddie Spencer, so Suzuki leads, Yamaha on the third. They go over the line together. They being Roberts and Spencer. And Randy Mamola, 22 years old, from Santa Clara, California, is making the most now of his incredible 11 years of top racing experience, because he started when he was a young boy, and he's now leading the British Grand Prix on his four-cylinder across square 4 Suzuki. Mamola, Roberts, Spencer, the very distinctive yellow and white Suzuki. And this is something that people, I think, would not have predicted. Look at the gap that's developing between the fight between the three Americans, and Kenny Roberts is there. Now on lap 3, Kenny Roberts has taken what many people regard as his rightful position, which is first. And Haslam is still in that 4th position. Well, Kenny Roberts was in a class of his own in practice, John.
Well, Kenny, I was timing through Woodcote here, and Kenny was picking up a 1/5 of a second on everybody all along. And he's absolutely sort of riding at the peak of his form. The important thing about it at the moment is that he's enjoying his racing. He really sort of is back into a groove where it's giving him tremendous thrill. And this is very important.
And in motorcycle Grand Prix racing, as in car Grand Prix racing, tyres are one of the main factors which affect whether a machine and rider are going to do well or not. Kenny Roberts is using Dunlop tyres, and Mamola and Spencer in 2nd and 3rd places behind him are using French Michelin tyres. So, since the Dunlops, we know, have gone a full race distance in practice tests at racing speeds, it bodes well for Kenny Roberts. He's leading, and this is lap 4. It's Roberts leading, it's Mamola 2nd, right behind him is Freddie Spencer. There, it's Lawson in 4th position. Mark Fontaine, number 10, is in 5th place. Lawson, number 27, the American, who is in 5th position in the World Championship, riding with his teammate Kenny Roberts, who is there in the lead. And we have spots of rain, as we had in the 250 race. Let us hope that they hold off. And Spencer is challenging Mamola for 2nd position.
Well, this is just the sort of race that Roberts wanted to have. He wanted to come through from behind at the start and then put together a few very fast laps and perhaps break away.
An amazing testimony to the skill and coolness of these top riders was the way Kenny Roberts languidly turned round and looked to see where the opposition was. He saw behind him Mamola, but now coming up to take 4th position is Mark Fontaine, or is it? No, Mark Fontaine, the Frenchman in the blue leathers on the V4 Yamaha, challenging Eddie Lawson, who is now 4th, and Spencer is right up with Mamola. There is 4th, Lawson, 5th, Fontaine, 6th is Takazumi Katayama, 7th is Ron Haslam. And in 8th position, it looked very much to me like Jack Middleburg, but the leader, Roberts, is not pulling away now from either Spencer or Mamola. Lawson is holding on to that 4th place, and you'll see him come round the right-hander in a moment. There is Lawson 4th, Fontaine is 5th, 6th is number 8, Katayama. 7th is number 9, and that's Haslam. And in 8th position, it is Jack Middleburg on the Honda, number 22. And this is lap 5.
Well, Roberts is probably getting a few of those specks of rain onto his visor, and so he's sort of there doing not exactly the 100%. He's doing the 99% job and awaiting any deterioration in the weather.
Kenny Roberts has been racing at the top level for 13 years. Multiple champion in America, and well down the field is Barry Sheen. He is in 12th position at the present moment. And that's out of the World Championship points, because the lowest position you can get a World Championship point in is 10th place. But Barry's got a long way to go now. The leaders come through and complete the 5th lap in this 28 lap. And Nobby Clark, the very famous mechanic, holds out the board. Whoa. And there is a very nasty crash indeed. Number 46 there is Peter Huber, the Swiss rider. His machine, Huber, with his helmet off, I tragically notice, and that's something that's happened far too much in motorcycle racing. A rider comes off and his helmet comes off. But meantime, it's Roberts. Spencer is now in 2nd position, ahead of Randy Randy Mamola, a nasty accident to Peter Huber. Those are the first three, and Spencer is certainly not releasing the pressure on Kenny Roberts one iota. I wonder whether the race has got to be stopped, because with Huber on the course, he will have to be retrieved, and it is, of course, desperately dangerous, if not impossible, to do that during racing. So, Lawson is still in fourth place, and Spencer is coming up to try and take Roberts. They must surely be seeing flags, because it seems to me, yes, but as we look at the race now, with no definite knowledge that it's being stopped, there are no flags out where I am. Freddie Spencer on lap 6 has retaken the lead, and the green flags are showing. The race is being continued, which I find surprising, but the ACU know what they're doing, and so the race is continuing with Freddie Spencer now having retaken the lead from his friend Kenny Roberts. Down to third position goes the previous leader, Randy Mamola, and we're getting the same sort of race in the 500cc British Grand Prix as we superbly had in the earlier 250cc British Grand Prix. Spencer looks over his shoulder. He sees Roberts behind him, who's got Mamola behind him, and then it's Lawson in fourth position, it's Mark Fontaine in fifth position, in sixth place it is Takazumi Katayama, in seventh place it is Ron Haslam, and there is the leader.
Well, this shows...
Well, the riders are coming in now off the course. They must be seeing flags off a point where we are now not in our sight, because riders are streaming into the pits. And there, nevertheless, the yellow flag is being waved, and the British Grand Prix is being stopped.
Well, it looks like perhaps the riders themselves are bringing this about, because I can't actually see the black flag out.
I think you're right, John.
So it would appear
there is the oil flag.
This is a sort of discipline which is being brought onto it by the riders, it would appear. And, you know, this just shows the responsibility of these people.
And this will be the first time that I can recall where the riders have voluntarily decided during the race to stop it of their own volition and to come in order to give, unfortunately, Peter Huber the chance to be removed from the course.
I'm not so sure, Murray, that there wasn't two machines involved in that. They look to be...
Well, this is incredibly confusing and worrying, because, look, you can see Spencer, Haslam and Roberts are going on. They're riding on. Now, admittedly, not at flat-out racing speeds, and I simply cannot understand what is happening. The red flag has now been produced at the start. Kenny Roberts has been gesturing at the start officials. The gesture, we assume, meant, why aren't you stopping the race? Where is the red flag? We've seen other people riding in. But it is a worrying and surprising situation that apparently, and I emphasise that I'm talking I'm talking unofficially, the riders have unilaterally decided, or multilaterally rather, decided to stop the race. Well, anyway, the red flag has gone out to show that the race is officially being stopped. There is the sort of communication network which is available to the officials here of the Autocycle Union. There is the red flag, and what an awful tragedy from every point of view that a race which was showing so much promise and such a magnificent battle between the two top riders of the year should have to be stopped in this way. Well, there is, let's make no bones about it, some confusion about what is happening. It is clear, of course, that the race has been stopped. When it is going to be started again and over what distance, we do not know. But Barry Gill is down in the pit lane with Barry Sheen.
Well, one man who isn't confused is Barry Sheen. He's explained, Murray, that out of camera something happened we didn't see. Barry, what exactly happened?
I honestly don't know what happened, but there's an accident around the back as you come out of I don't know what the name is, one of the right-hand corners. And it's pretty nasty. There's bikes all over the track and that. And there was cross flags there, an oil flag and a yellow flag, which means stop. So what the bloody hell the other lot are doing going round, I really don't know.
I mean, you saw that signal straight away, Barry?
Oh, yeah, I saw it and it stopped. Well, that's what they're for, isn't it?
Barry, what happens now to riders like yourselves who've got to go out all over again, knowing there's been, as you've said, a fairly nasty accident?
Well, it's... I didn't see what happened in the accident. You know, I think we're all aware that accidents can happen, probably me more so than a lot of other people. And it's one of those things that happens.
Barry, thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the second part of the race, and let's hope it's not as bad as it looks. Thank you.
I hope so.
Back to you, Murray.
Well, if I have been maligning the organisers, and indeed the flags were out, apologies, but for whatever reason and whatever way, as you see, the British Grand Prix has been brought to a halt. I don't think it's going to be very long before it's restarted. We, needless to say, know what the crash was like. We know what happened, but we feel that in line with good taste, it would not be advisable to show it, which will obviously make you realise that it was an extremely severe and unpleasant crash. But the course is now being cleared. The machines, the damage, the broken parts have been retrieved from the course. The riders who were involved are being removed from the circuit. And we wait now for news of when the British Grand Prix 500cc class will be restarting, and as soon as it does, we promise you, we will let you know.
Well, absolutely right that the action was stopped there, of course, and as Murray says, when we know what's going on, you'll know what's going on.
And uppermost in the minds of the massive crowd is the thought of a battle between Americans Kenny Roberts and Freddie Spencer, the championship leader, for only 5 points separate them after 9 races. The 500cc race had to be run in 2 parts, for on the 6th lap it was stopped after a dreadful accident had tragically claimed the lives of Northern Ireland's Norman Brown and the Swiss Peter Huber. And when it restarted, for 23 laps, it was Roberts, Spencer, Mamola and Lawson battling for the lead. So less than 30 seconds now, the grid is clear. Roberts on the right, number 4, Spencer on the left, number 3. The 2 contenders for the World Championship, only 3.5 points separate them now, and there are 23 laps to go. Now, is it going to be a good start? Spencer's done it again. Spencer's tears into the lead with Randy Mamola. Again, Kenny Roberts delays a bit and is in 5th place as they go into Cox Corner. Spencer leads, Mamola 2nd, Ron Haslam is in 3rd position. Number 4, Kenny Roberts riding round in 5th position, but soon to take 4th, I think. The rest of them all behind them. There is Barry Sheen in the middle of the pack. And they are now round Cops up to Maggots, with Spencer leading, Mamola 2nd on the right, and Mamola's trying to go through on the inside, but Spencer's got the racing line as they go into the left-hander at Chapel, down the Hangar Straight. Kenny Roberts is up to 3rd place. This is an exact replication of the first part of the race when Spencer led and is doing so again. Mamola is 2nd and going to take the inside line at Stowe, but again across his bows quite legally goes Freddie Spencer, number 3 in the 500cc V3 Honda. Lawson is in 4th place, Haslam is in 5th place, and now they are on their way up to Woodcote Corner from Club through Abbey, with Kenny Roberts trying to do to Mamola and Spencer what he did to them in the first 5-6 lap part, and Mamola's going to take the lead, I think, here as they come up to Woodcote. No, he's not. Roberts does it. Roberts flashes past both of them and leads at the end of lap 1 in this 23-lap second part from Freddie Spencer, Randy Mamola, number 27 Eddie Lawson is 4th, number 9 Ron Haslam is in 5th place. In 6th position it is number 10 Mark Fontan, 7th is number 22 Jack Middleberg. Kenny Roberts leads. Almost off, and Katayama is closing up. Katayama is coming up through the field. There is Lawson in 4th place. There is Mark Fontaine. There is Haslam. And there is Jack Mittelberg, number 22. And that's Anton Mang, the German, on the Suzuki. Between him and Takazumi Katayama, and the leader, Kenny Roberts, is now 0.6 of a second ahead of Freddie Spencer, and there is the battle between the leaders.
Your mention of Mang brings to the question that he's doing a tremendous job here, considering that this is virtually his first race of the year. He's been held out by injury, and of course he is new to 500s, having been world champion last year. Anton Mang.
Anton Mang, number 16. Look out for him when you see him. Meantime, Eddie Lawson on the Yamaha V4 is up into 3rd position. There he is, ahead of Randy Mamola. This is lap 4. It's a 23-lap race. And there is Lawson and Mamola absolutely together, chasing Freddie Spencer, and Kenny Roberts is starting to pull away. Kenny Roberts is easing away. There he is, number 4, the man from California, 31 years old. He's won 21 Grand Prix in his career and 3 World Championships. Spencer 2nd, Lawson 3rd. Mamola, number 6 in 4th position, rounding Woodcote. 4 laps completed, 19 to go, including the one that they have just started. And it's the V4, the absolutely remorseless riding of Kenny Roberts. And there's his protege, Eddie Lawson, his protege, his friend, his business partner in 3rd place.
In practice, actually, Roberts was spending a tremendous amount of time showing Eddie Lawson the right line through the corners, giving him the braking points, and this is really sort of showing him to good stead now.
And that is Jack Mittelberg, who won the British Grand Prix in 1981 on a Suzuki. Here he is on one of the production superb racing 500cc Hondas, out of the British Grand Prix, pulls the plug and says that it wasn't a good race for him. And Lawson and Mamola really are having a ding-dong all the way around the circuit. But Roberts now on his way to his 22nd Grand Prix. And I was saying that since the Yamaha is so reliable, and since Kenny Roberts himself is so reliable and so experienced, unless he has tyre trouble, it seems that he's already got the race in the bag, because look at it, look at the lead that Roberts has got. And they're closing up for 2nd position.
Well, Roberts hasn't had any tyre trouble this year. He's sort of had a very remarkable run, particularly in his latter races, but he'll still be in this predicament. He'll be getting the spots on his visor, and he'll be wondering how fast.
And look at this, because Freddie Spencer has been passed by Randy Mamola and has now got Eddie Lawson in his wheel tracks. And this is a real problem, to put it mildly, for Spencer, because if he'd been able to hang on to that 2nd place, his World Championship chances would have been good. And now, through into 3rd position goes Lawson. I wonder if Freddie Spencer has got a repetition of a problem he had in another Grand Prix, and that was a cracked exhaust pipe, which lost him a lot of horsepower, because the bike seems to be going well enough.
No, I don't think it's that. I think, in fact, that he's sensing the rain, feeling the road a little slippery, because you see that his style's changed. He's sort of sitting up a little more and being a little more careful about laying it into the corner. The knee isn't quite that close to the road. I think that they're sensing some problems.
Could well be, in which case are the 3 in front of him trying too hard. Randy Mamola, until recently, had a reputation of not liking the rain, indeed easing off considerably in the rain. But they are definitely slowing. The track must be getting wet, and if that is the case, there is a distinct possibility that the British Grand Prix will have to be stopped for a 2nd time to enable the riders to change tyres.
Yes, well, that style is definitely showing up. i.e. they'll be that much easier on applying the throttle. They're trying to keep the machine up a little more. They'll be trying to stay off the oily line, particularly left by the Grand Prix cars, and staying again away from those white lines.
Lap 9, and Barry Sheen is in the points. Barry Sheen is in 10th position, which is a terrific achievement. Mamola is 2nd, there he is. Eddie Lawson is 3rd, and now Spencer rides round the outside of Lawson and retakes 3rd position. Kenny Roberts still in the front, and we're just hoping and praying that that rain does not increase, which would stop the race. Sheen now in that 10th position, and bearing in mind the fact that he is using a replacement engine, that he didn't do all the practice periods. It's a 1982 works engine in a fairly standard frame, and Barry Sheene, who had no hopes of victory, at least looked as though he might get a World Championship point or two. So Roberts 4 leads, Spencer 3 second, Mamela 6 third, and Eddie Lawson, number 27, is in 4th place. They are coming up to complete lap 12. In 5th position behind them now is Katayama, the Japanese rider on the Honda. 6th is Mark Fontaine. In 7th position is Ron Haslam. In 8th position is Bert van Dulman. In 9th position now is Barry Sheene. And in 10th position is the brilliant newcomer Paul Lewis, the Australian, on a Mark 7 production Suzuki. And that's a fantastic achievement too.
In fact, he's running with 2 of the cylinder barrels from Barry's other spare machine, which was lent to him last night, so he's doing a tremendous job.
Lap 13, 23 lap race, and that was Freddie Spencer. Masterly recovery. He got on the curbing there. And Roberts, Spencer, Mamela, Lawson. And between the 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, there are about 4 machine lengths. And Roberts' lead has been reduced from 2.9 seconds to 1.7 seconds, although it looks to me as though it's increased a bit. Kenny Roberts, 3 times a world champion. And you can see that those 4 are in a race by themselves, ahead of...
I think you see that, in fact, it must be drying out a bit over there now, because they're not worrying about staying inside the line. They're back over the concrete. And also the knees are down onto the ground, so it must be just a patchy situation and drying out.
Well, it really does look as though the V4 Yamaha in the hands of Kenny Roberts is the machine to beat, because Eddie Lawson's in his first season of full Grand Prix racing, and he passes Spencer and Katayama and Mamela and moves up into 2nd place as they approach Stowe, and down to Cox goes the leader. So now those V4 Yamahas, the 2 of them, are in 1st and 2nd positions, and Eddie Lawson is riding superbly. He finished 2nd in the Austrian Grand Prix. He's in 5th position in the World Championship. And just look at the way he's going. So, lap 14, and Kenny Roberts leads. Lawson 2nd, Mamela 3rd, Spencer 4th, Katayama 5th, and Mark Fontaine in 6th position. Eddie Lawson on the V4 Yamaha, number 27, riding absolutely magnificently. Lawson has had 1 2nd place earlier this season in Austria, and it looks as though he's going to have a 2nd in Britain. But Freddie Spencer, and they are now coming through to complete another lap, must get past Lawson to keep his World Championship hopes with 2 races to go alive against Kenny Roberts. And there's Mamela going through at Copse. Randy Mamela takes 3rd position as they go into this lap from Freddie Spencer, who is therefore down to 4th, but Eddie Lawson unchallenged, and it's Roberts, Lawson, then Mamela, Spencer. Katayama is in 5th position on the Honda, and look at the gap now between Kenny Roberts, number 4, and Eddie Lawson, number 27, with Mamela and Spencer in there in his wheel tracks, and the gap in terms of time is 4.6 seconds. There is the battle. Well, V4 Yamaha, square 4, stepped for Suzuki, Randy Mamela, number 6, and the V3 Honda. Motorcycle racing has taken enormous technical strides in recent years, and I say again that tyres are vitally important, and it's nice to know that in the battle between Dunlop and Michelin in Grand Prix racing at the present moment, from the point of view of British enthusiasts, the Dunlop machines are leading at the present moment in 1st and 2nd places. Down into Woodcote, and that's 22 laps completed for the leader, and now for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, Kenny Roberts is on his 23rd and last lap in this 2nd part of the British Grand Prix. He will get 1 point if he wins to add to the 1 point that he got for finishing 1st in the 1st part. And since the lowest number of points is the winner on aggregate. It will clearly be Kenny Roberts winning the British Grand Prix, both the first part and the second part. There he is. He has lapped number 13's Chris Guy, the British rider, and Kenny Roberts is now on his way to not 7.5 but 15 points in the World Championship. And it's all going to depend where Freddie Spencer finishes, second, third or fourth, as to whether he or Kenny Roberts will be leading the World Championship at the end of this race. And we will very soon know the answer to that, because it's Lawson, Mamela and Spencer, second, third and fourth. Roberts is not so far off from home, the checkered flag and victory. And in that case, if Spencer stays where he is going to be leading the World Championship, because for fourth place, Spencer will only get 8 points compared with the 15 of Kenny Roberts. Roberts into Woodcote for the 23rd and last time. He's tremendously popular with the British crowd. There is an enormous roar of approval and he wheelies over the line. And in second place it's Lawson. In third place it's Mamela. In fourth place it is Spencer. And that's it, says Kenny Roberts. I've done it again. And Kenny Roberts, number 4 there, the man who won the British Grand Prix in 1978 and 79, wins in 1983, wheeling his way round the course. So, with 10 rounds completed and only 2 to go, Freddie Spencer leads Kenny Roberts by a mere 2 points.